Hello, Ava here. I'm here with a new game. It's new to me. It's been around for a little while. It's in Alpha 3 build. It is not early access, but pre-release. It's called Ostriv. I think you dropped the V. Ostriv or something. I've tried to look it up and try to get it right. I'm probably failing. The game is set in Ukrainian in the 1700s, and as far as I can tell, the word itself, the name of the game, probably, maybe, possibly means island. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to click on new game. Now, it's calling them level 4, 6, 7, whatever. They're just maps. That's all it is. This is forest, river, obviously. Great big old lake. That's the thing. Not a lot of building land there, though. You know, I think this is the one. I've been streaming the game a couple of times over on Twitter, and I will be again this afternoon, actually. But I think this is the one I've used. I'm going to go for this one this time, do something different. Okay, it's just spring, the last bits of snow. It's in March. The game, let's pause this and have a wee look around here before we go any further. Just want to see what kind of land I have this time. This is pretty. It has, when I first saw it, I thought Dawn of Man. That sort of vibe to it, aesthetic, whatever. The housing and then such are quite different. Think of Foundation, Banished, Dawn of Man combo thingy mabob. It's quite nice. It's actually quite pretty. I'm really enjoying it. Now we could build a bridge across there later, but no worries for that. Now we want to have room to build housing and farms. We want to be near the water, and it's really good to be near some kind of forest. So we could, I don't know, tuck in down here maybe. We'd have lots of room in the middle. We'd have trees along the outside. And right, you know, right here at the fork of the river, I kind of liking this. And if we get a bridge across, there's rocks there. I've never actually used rocks in the game yet. Oh, actually, there's some over here. Ooh. I think the rocks, dark and limestone, are the lighter ones, but I haven't even used them yet, so who the hell knows? We'll find out. But that's good. The map I'm on, I didn't have access to them on my side of the river, and I just haven't built a bridge yet, so... Well, that's cool. Okay, we're just going to tuck in here. This could be like it's a little bit of a hill there. We can call that our hill forest or something like that. Now, the first thing you start out with, excuse me, is a camp location. Now, this is going to put down a little stockpile area and some tents that your people are going to be living in. And I think before we do that, main menu, no info overlays. Yeah, you know what? We'll just get started. We're going to do some things right away. We don't really have a lot to look at. Now, this may or may not be where I build a town hall later. Do we want that to be here right there on the point of the river? Would we want the town hall to sit down here? That would be kind of impressive. Then people coming from 3 directions would get to see it. That could be pretty cool. You know what, for now... Now, see, I'm thinking that's a bad choice because we've got to chop trees immediately. We're going to start over here. Wherever I decide to put the town hall, we're going to start our camp right here. And then as soon as you put that down, you will see we've got little carts. The people will use them for working. We've got our settlers. This is your camp center, which will upgrade, or when you rebuild your town hall, that is just going to disappear. This is some storage bits and bobs we have for building. The people themselves have got all their food in their tents. They will take their supplies with them when they move into a house. So the first thing you're going to want to do, okay, and it even says that, you do get a couple of tips as you first start the game about what to build. They don't last long. You can see, even though it's quite early, very early for this game yet, we've got a lot of buildings that we can go for. Now the green patch you see, it's kind of yellow and green. The green bit is basically going to be the front door to this place. The roads in here are very much like Foundation. They're going to be created organically based on where people walk. So keep that in mind as you're placing things. And at some point I'm going to want to actually plant a field where they can cut their trees and things from. So I think I'm going to use, you can see that the tips come up at the bottom as to, you know, hitting shift key, rotating the building, blah, blah, blah. Go like this. I always tend to just barely over rotate. If I want something straight, I get it wrong every time. I'm going to tuck it in like this. So they're going to have to walk around behind the building to cut down the trees. So it's a little bit more walking than is possibly perfect. But when I build a field out here to cut more trees for replanting and cutting, it'll make it a little quicker at that point. So I'm just going to, you know what, tuck that in right there. And you can see they put up little flags around to show you where it's going to be built. We can unpause this game and let them go about doing that. They do now. See, they're going to grab the little carts. They're going to pick whatever supplies they do have at the moment to go out and build that. And actually, I'm going to pause this again. Now, to get started in a lot of games, you know, you put down wood, you put down mining, you start building houses, you do whatever. This one's a little bit different, and I made all the mistakes in my first game. Oh my God, so many. I did things like, oh God, I did it all wrong. I put up a farm and then something wasn't working. Well, I realized later I needed a manager for it. I didn't clue in at the time. I never even thought to put a clay pit right away. The thatchery. The thing is, these houses are going to be built with clay walls and thatched roofs. So the clay pit and your thatchery down here really need to go up very, very quickly and very early in the game. Now the clay pit is something, a lot of things you can destroy. Okay, these you can't, but you can destroy things. You can rebuild it somewhere else. To my knowledge, or at least it hasn't been able to happen to me, I could not move the clay pits. I just couldn't get them to go. So you got to decide where you want this darn thing to be. Now it seemed to me to make sense to put it near the river, although it would seem to turn out that there's no particular reason for having done that. It doesn't seem to make any difference at all. You know what? I'm going to tuck this back here. This area is going to become a little bit of an industrial center here for us. That's just me. The thatchery, however, they do seem to go and collect the reeds that are growing along there. So this one I am going to put beside the river. And and again, the first time I did that thinking, oh, that's the front door, but then they have to walk around to get to it. So I don't know I'm going to do it like this. Then they can come down for here, and then they can go straight out to get to the reeds, nice and easy. Uneven terrain. Well, it goes there. There we go. We're going to want housing, and the game will pop up. There will be a pop-up in the corner up there to tell us that shortly. Let's speed this up, because we're going to want a house for each of these families. So we've got the 3, 6, we've got 9 families. I'm going to put in 10 or 12 houses. I just want room for immigration should somebody wander by in the vast wilderness that is this place and go, ooh, I want to live at your pretty little place because I love the river. That sounds like something I would do. So we are going to let them build. I am going to sip some coffee. Early morning. I just got my first cup of coffee, and oh, it's very good. Now there are going to be some things we're going to want to look at here. Look at this financial help. Each of the families are going to have their own wealth levels, which is kind of awesome cool. And you can give them money if they need it. You don't have to let your people starve. We do have a mayor that seems to get just selected. These guys are the people working as builders at the moment. If you click on population, you can see what ages you're dealing with. And right now, everybody's just basically broke, so that's pretty easy. For migration, we're going to want to market. They will need a place to live where they're not going to stay. Oddly enough, sleeping under the trees is just frowned upon, I guess. And here you can watch your unemployment. Now, when it comes to jobs, and we will be looking at that one in a few minutes. When you look at this, I guess can't do anything till it's built. So all the resources are here, and they're just using up what they've hauled over. Now, the nails situation, because mining isn't a thing yet, to my knowledge, you have to buy your iron and make nails. So we will need a trading post pretty early into the game. That's pretty quick. Now, if we look at this, we have to hire workers for this, and here we can tell them to plant trees. And this is what I was talking about, building. We can build, and actually, you know what? Maybe we should just go for that straight away, yeah? Maybe we should just do that right away. If we do this, the little green bit there is where the front gate is going to be, so we'll make that relatively accessible. Excuse the noise outside. It's pretty loud. I am sorry about that. I have got to have the noisiest freaking neighbors in the history of the world. It's either bad music, big machines, lots and lots of motors and motorcycles and things just, I don't know, they're always doing something that's noisy. So I apologize for all the banging that we're both hearing now. It's lovely. I had to wait. I started to stream earlier and then some machinery started kicking in and I had to wait before I could stream. So we are going to hire at least 2 people. Now, cutting down a log and carrying it requires at least 2 men. And if you look down here, hiring options, this is a kind of a fascinating, okay, it's not an option here. I think it's very cool, and I will show you somewhere else. Now with this, they'll just go get it when they need it. Whoever needs some will go and get some. And as soon as this is here. So they're working on that, and we'll just have to wait, and then I'll be able to show you a thing. The carts, we will need a carpentry shop to keep that sorted out, and I'm probably going to put that right here. We'll just keep a little industrial section kicking along here. Later on, when we're trying to make it pretty, I think we'll put the town hall and maybe a nice church. We'll put some markets or something, but yeah, for now we're just making it work, right? Build houses for all the families in the camp before winter comes. So I'm assuming if they are living in these little clothy things when it snows, and it snows pretty deep and serious, the river freezes up. Apparently the Ukraine gets cold in the winter time. So now we've got this one. Now we're going to look at this. We have hiring options here. Women can work here. I'm going to say only women work here because women can't do a lot of the jobs. These apparently at this particular time and place in history, they made the assumption that women were incapable of a whole lot of things that we now know they do on a regular basis, because I've done a bunch of them myself. Oh God. But anyway, I'm not going to whine and complain. It's a different game and it's a different time, and it is what it is, and I actually love this little game. So we've got the clay to build our walls for the housing. We'll have thatch for roof here in a few minutes. We're going to want this, charcoal burners. We're going to need those. I'm going to want the smithy up pretty soon, because if you run out of nails, you're kind of just screwed. And you do start out up here. You can see where we do have 1,000 iron with us, and we've got 1,300 nails left. But if you start looking, you need 90 for a weaver's, you need 110 here, you need 120. I mean, it's gonna disappear in a hurry. So I'm gonna want a smithy down pretty soon. But the charcoal piles are going to be required to fuel it, so keep that in mind. How do I want to do that? I'm thinking, here next to the logs is probably a good place. See, it just over-rotated every freaking time. It's what I do. Close enough, yeah? Yeah, and if I hold the shift key, I can pop a couple of them. Is that not going to go uneven terrain? Seriously? That you're going to do this? Oh, come on. Really? You know what? We'll just tuck it back there a little bit then. And they'll cut the trees down, and that'll give us more logs anyway, right? So that's just fine. I'm going to pop the smithy back here. Sorry about that. Just so now you can pause anything, and I will show you something here. Let me just place this, and I'll show you a thing. I'm going to put the smithy here. So the fuel is nice and close. It's next to the logs. That's all good. Uneven terrain. No, please. But I want to. Oh, come on. For reals? I mean, I guess I could stick it back there. I mean, they're going to be cutting the trees down anyway, right? But here? Sure. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm going to leave a little bit of space so they can make sure they get through there. So they're starting the piles there. That's lovely. 'Tis goodly. And I need some more coffee. So the food seems to last a good while. It's not, you know, oh my God, that's going to be gone in a week kind of thing. You seem to be able to get through the first winter fine, without too many problems. Although I'm thinking, you know what? Now I put a fishing dock in, thinking, oh look, they're going to stand on the dock and fish. But no, that's not how it works. I found out the hard way when I had no nails that you've got to have a boatyard first, and then they will build themselves little boats that they then take out to do the actual fishing in. So there you go. This may or may not be required this early on. I think probably you can not have that. I really don't think this is all that important. But you know what? I like knowing they have alternate sources of food. I want to leave those reeds free there, so we'll put it down here. I kind of want it there, but it's not going to go because again yeah, you know what? It'll be fine. This will be just perfect. I can't put it there either. What in blue? Right there over where the reeds are. This is for real. Okay. Well, that's just hunky-dory. That's just freaking great right there, that is. Huh. I can put it down here. No, that's uneven. It doesn't look like it's that bad, does it? But, well, shite. That's it. Well, let's hope there's enough reeds there that they don't have to walk freaking miles to get them then. Okay, so they're starting with the fuel. That is getting built. Now we got to figure out where we're going to put our houses. I am thinking, you know, it'd be nice to have something pretty there. So maybe we build our houses around about. Well, we don't want to be too far from that either, do we? You know what? Let's build like a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood here in the center. And we can build, you know, perhaps the industrial stuff that goes on the waterfront, the big trade center and things like that. And we can build farming and what have you behind. Sounds like a possible, absolute, maybe totally okay, right? Now these, I think they're just cute as hell. And you can kind of determine where your roads are going to be by how you place things. You can see what's going on in the middle of the camp. Wherever they're walking, you can get some pretty wild and crazy crisscrossing issues. Big time. With just like paths everywhere. It just turns into a great big muddy morass, so you might not want to do it that way. But getting messages about the game through Steam right now. Oh goodness. So do I just want to go a straight line? We put a road up the middle. You know, yeah, for now that's all we're gonna do, folks. Ooh, we got a bit of a hill there. Isn't that cute? Kidding. I tend to like leave little alleys between just because I can. I'm gonna let those get built up first and then see how much space we need to put a road down the center. Wide enough to put a couple of benches around and plant some trees as well. So we're only into April, so we do have some time. This will get built. It should be fine. We can speed this up a little bit. So we're starting to get some stuff going here. Now the whole bark thing, I don't really know. I have no idea what this is used for. I would have thought it could have been burnt. I don't know that it can, but they do. It does pile up, and if you've got that open, they will start storing it. So perhaps further down, you know, some other patch in the game, or maybe I just haven't gotten to it yet. There'll be something that we can do with that. I just don't know what it is yet. So, now we're going to want a carpenter up pretty soon as well. And I had wanted to put it here, but that hill apparently is just too for words. But as they move into housing, this stuff is going to start to disappear, which is pretty good. And so maybe I'll be able to put a carpenter shop in here, and it'll be nice close next to that. And I do tend to put more of these down because they use them for hauling stuff, so it is important. And make empty hiring, I did that. Okay, that's good. Over here we have Higher options, that's pretty straightforward, that one too. There will be some other options and other things that we do, but we'll just have to wait and get to those. So let's have a look at the peoples. So most of our men are working, not the ladies. The ladies apparently can't build, although I can swing a mean hammer. I'm just saying, I've done some building things. I like roofing. I can totally roof, although maybe not with thatch. Now up here we've got a fishing dock in this, and I'm thinking, you know what, I don't even know if we need these. You can do this. You can say, you know what, let's just pause that for now. I've got it placed. I know it's there. I could just turn that little sucker on later. That is also an option right here with this one. Oh, I was about to say I was just going to pause that, but you know, there it is. I'm going to do this for sure because I don't think that those are particularly important at the moment. This is just a thing I like to have. So if there's time in the winter, they can't fish because the river freezes up. So if we don't get these done early enough, there's just isn't actually any particular point. So, whoops, wrong button there, darling. Sorry. And now we have a carpenter shop. And when we look at this, this one, how will they get here? I'm going to say laborers by hand as well. Because if a cart is tied up, nothing gets done. We have workers and we have laborers. Unemployed people are going to go around and haul things, so that's pretty cool. You can usually change some of these. The limits. Okay, that one's going to go. Can I go as high as 1,000? If you put it too high, it will just default back to whatever the low one is. So that's accepting all kinds of stock. So that's cool. That's good. No worries. So now the laborers are hauling things. They're just hauling from the storage at the camp. They're hauling the iron and stuff in there. In here, the laborers can be either. So women can haul things in. That's good to know. The workers will just be guys. That's it. That's all. Unfortunately, that's as good as that gets. So horseshoes, we can tell them to start building these. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I mean, trade is, you make this money by trade. You'll make some of it by selling bits in your market, as you do, like in foundation. But I have found that money is, because you're paying your workers from this. I personally have not made enough yet to keep everything functioning in the black. It tends to go a little wonky for me, but the game keeps playing. So for all I know, you can be in unlimited debt. I have no idea. Much like North America today. Just keep charging. It's fine. What could possibly go wrong? So we're going to let this row build up. You will notice that, we've lost a tent as the people have moved in with their little children, and they've brought their food and their supplies with them. The tent comes down. This tent will disappear as soon as it is empty. This is temporary storage. So once you've used those up, they'll start being stored in other places. But and then that won't go until we've built a town hall. Now they do have decorative things in, and I don't think they cost anything. These are really cute because you pop the little suckers in here. I'm going to have to be careful or it's going to end up in the middle of the road, which I have done a couple of times. Put that right near the fence line there. And we'll put a little bench, which would be nice, and in the shade of the wee tree. It'll be perfect, right? A little place to rest, because they do like to sit and rest during the day when they get tired. Now, they put these little frameworks up, and as soon as they put the sapling or the seedling in, then that will disappear, and you'll just have like a small tree like the one over here in the garden. So, but they do like to have a sit and have a wee rest along the way. And if you don't have benches nearby, if some guy is working over here and he's tired, he's going to walk all the way over here to this bench and then walk all the way back over there to get to work. So having said that, this seems a good plan. Whoops. That way. I'm going to do, I don't think I can put another one here anyway, so we're going to put a little bench right here, and we'll put another, you know what, let's put a couple of trees. We're going to put a little birch stand here. There we do. I didn't get that last one. No, do a pine. No, I don't want a pine. There's pine behind us. Let's go with something else. And we'll pop in one more, like too close. Oh, all right. Well, there you go. And then you've got these little doodads you can just put in for Insta bushes. And again, holding the shift key down lets that happen quicker. Yeah, just make a little park. There, we'll just have a little place to sit on a hot sunny day when you're just weary from working in the clay pits. The housing is darling. You've got a whole, you know, a bunch of different roofs, different fronts to the house, part clay, part wood, and they randomize quite nicely. It looks pretty good. It looks very, very good. So now we can see where the road is going to be. So if we place the other houses like so, if you get too close, you can turn the snapping thing on and off if you want to, but I'm just not going to bother. I'm just going to back it up a little bit. The road will end up a fair bit wider. Now this is not, it's, see, now here's the thing. I did it wrong. Okay, I want to go. It looks like it was kind of, now we are on a hill, but it looked really crooked, didn't it? And now I've gone too far again. I'm right back where I started, aren't I? I think I am. I don't know, folks. I don't want to end up with a narrow road on one side and a really, you know, huge one on the other, but let's start up here. Maybe if it's flatter, it'll be easier to sort out. I don't know. I'm not sure that it's flatter either. Therein lies the real problem. Does that look straighter? I mean, maybe. Well, it's as good as it's going to get, darlings. This is it. We could drag that out a little bit. I could put the alley there. Sure, why do we don't need it all lined up nice and even everywhere. That would be boring. So we've got 4, and you know what? I'll just do the last one down here. And you can, you know, you can move it to some extent back and forth to line things up a little bit, but there we go. That's going to be our first main street here, and it tends to be how people build anyway. It's kind of boring. I've seen some people do really beautiful, you know, big arches, archways, or like arced roads and stuff like that. And it looks really nice. It's quite pretty, but I wanted more than one. Hold shift key, please, and like so, and like so. And we could put another little bench down here to make sure our folks never get too tired. And yes, we'll plant some more shrubs and bushes. And these don't seem to cost anything. You just put them in. Awesome. I've never actually watched the money situation, but I don't think it's a problem. And I know I'm going to want a trading post relatively soon. Now, we're into September, so we're just going to let them focus on that. And winter will come. Winter is coming, this is for sure. So we've got this planted now, so that can start growing while they're cutting in here. And I don't know that this is required. I'm not sure I've seen anybody else even bother with that in the first year. But you know, what the hell, we can, right? And it's not all planted yet. You can see some of these are still sitting there with the little tiny baby seedlings. You've got to keep them protected so you don't stand on them. But once they've grown a little bit, those will come off. So if you've ever planted trees, and I have planted many. Okay, so I actually put my camp right there in the middle of a hollow, didn't I? Well, that's just great. A good hard rain will just wash us all away. That's brilliant. That is called a high strategy right there, folks. Good job. I'm so proud. Oh well. So now I had see, here's the thing. I forgot to move these around and pause those other things. So I'm going to pause that now and just let them get back to doing the houses. I want these done before winter sets in. So I think it is important. It's a really cute game, though. I'm quite liking it. And I will, like I said, I will be playing it this afternoon. I stream 5 times a week over on Twitch. It's a Kiss for Luck, oddly enough, a lot like this channel. And I'm playing this one this afternoon. I've got a map that I'm already working on from a previous stream, so I'll just be going back to that and seeing how far we can get the game to go. Excuse me. If you enjoy these little series and want to be encouraging, I'm sure you've noticed that I've been having a very hard time with YouTube and, well, with a bunch of things this year. It's been a pretty traumatic year on way too many fronts. Sometimes life just decides to smack you upside the head, and then it trips you, and then it won't let you stand up because it knocks you down again. And you do these things, right? But please leave a little like or a nice comment. Share the kindness. I need all the encouragement I can get. God, it's terrible. I've had a difficult time getting back into the YouTube. It's been tough. But I want to. And those of you who have written and been supportive, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. You're just, yeah, it's good. I really do appreciate it a lot. So I'm going to let this build up and end this particular recording. I will be back for more of this game. For right now, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who makes my life possible. These are some of the high-end patrons who are just going above and beyond and doing absolutely wonderful things for me. And I appreciate you guys so much. So until I see you next time, let's try to live our lives happy and build it beautiful. Bye-bye.